Hello, I'm Sarah from South London Sling Library, and today I'd like to talk to you about using the Infantino Flip Carrier with a bigger baby. If you've been using this carrier with your smaller baby and you've started to feel like they're getting too big for the narrow seat, you've got the wings poppered together on the front. What we're going to do is unpopper those wings, and then if you find round here on the waistband there's a toggle. That toggle is going through that buttonhole just above the popper there, so that you've got that. So same on the other side. Here's the wing, there's the toggle on my waistband. The toggle's going through the buttonhole, so you've got that. Now you know your baby's the right size to sit on this wide seat if when you go to put them in the carrier, they can comfortably bend their knees over both sides of this wider seat. If you go to put them in the carrier and they can't bend their knees over both sides of the seat, so for example, it's not in the back of their knee, it's the edge of the seat is kind of down their calf, then they need to go back to the narrow seat setting just for a little bit longer, until they grow a bit, and then they can sit in the wider seat. Honestly, there's like a couple of inches in it probably, if that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my shoulder straps, and I'm going to make sure that my back clip is already done up. Now mainly this is because I've got tiny little T-Rex arms and I can't reach that back clip behind me to get it done up. So if I start with it already done up, and the right width for me. So I know it's the right width for me. If I fold those shoulder straps, put them on my body, they sit in the midpoint on my shoulders with this strap taut, then I know it's the right length for me. So what I'm going to do is put it on over my head like a jumper. Saves me having to reach behind me and get that clip done up. I can then find my waistband, pick it up and put it around my natural waist. Taking it behind me, and get it done up. There you go. To tighten it up, find my strap and pull out to the side. It doesn't need to be corset tight. You don't want it to stop you eating or breathing, but you just want it to be snug enough so that it's not going to move around as you're carrying your baby. I'm then going to just undo these clips to be able to open the body panel. There we go. So let me show you about the width of this seat and whether or not you know your baby's the right size for it. So if I grab Charlie here, Charlie's about the size of a 4 or 5 month old. If I hold Charlie in that seated position, so they've got their knees up and their bottom down, it's basically the position I would hold them in if I was going to hold them without a sling. I can then put my hand under the body panel, bring the body panel around them, and you can see they can comfortably bend their knee on that side and on that side. Thank you, Charlie. If I get a smaller baby, so Robin, and I'm not suggesting you would make this mistake because Robin is clearly going to be too small, but if I hold Robin in that sort of seated position, try to bring that carrier up between them, between their legs, it's not in the back of Robin's knee, it's clearly forcing Robin's leg straight. And yeah, same on that side. So that would just not be comfortable. Robin's got their legs overextended and they wouldn't be comfortable in that seat. So thank you, Robin. Oh, let's go back to Charlie. Oh. Right, so holding your baby in that seated position with their knees up and their bottom down, pop a hand under the body panel and roll it around their body. And then I can find the clip at the side and I'm going to take it under Charlie's arm. Mainly Charlie has no muscle tone, and so, you know, your baby's probably already going to have their arm up here somewhere poking you in the nose, or, you know. I'm going to take it under Charlie's arm and clip it in. Thank you, Charlie. And then I'm going to swap hands, still supporting the baby because we're not secure. Find the strap on this side as well. And again, clip in. To tighten that, I'm going to find the strap. If I follow that webbing backwards, it's just here under my arm. Pull forwards to tighten. Same on the other side. Pull forwards to tighten. And then I can, depending on what Charlie wants, if Charlie was asleep, I could leave that headrest, leave that headrest up and clip it in, like so. If Charlie wakes up, I can fold it down. At this age, generally they've got pretty good head and neck control. So really, you only need it in the nape of their neck or kind of the top of their shoulders. That gives Charlie the ability to see a lot more of what's going on. If Charlie's starting to work on torso control and wants to get an arm out over the top of the sling, I could bring that down, pop it onto the popper, and then Charlie could get an arm out over the top. And then when Charlie was going to go to sleep, I can encourage them to tuck their elbow back in and we can lift that back up. Just gives you options as to kind of what you do with the top of that body panel. If Charlie wants to sleep, they may want to bend their elbow and have their hand inside. So you've got space to have their elbow out. They don't have to have their arms out of those holes. Charlie has literally no muscle tone and very straight arms. But a real baby, if they wanted to bend their arms and have their arms inside the carrier, they absolutely can. And then you have that choice of what to do with the additional head support here. When the baby's awake, they're probably going to want it down to be able to see more of what's going on. But when they're asleep, you absolutely can bring it up. And if you need them held a bit more tightly in towards you, then that strap at the top there, pull it up. It's not the easiest angle, but you can do it with a bit of persuasion. Oh, there we go. That's it. The safety guidelines in this sling are exactly the same as every other sling or baby carrier. The word to remember is ticks. You want to be able to tick all of your safety boxes. The T stands for tight. The baby should be as tightly held against you as if you were holding them in your arms. You want to be able to put a hand on their head, do a little dip forward, and not feel their body weight pull away from you. Don't go too far forward because your core engages and then you get space in the sling that actually technically isn't there. So hand on their head, little dip forward, you shouldn't feel their body weight pull away from you. At this age, if the sling is too loose, what's going to happen is the baby's weight's going to pull away and down and it's going to make them feel heavier. So keeping them snugged into you really does help. The I in ticks stands for in view. You should be able to look down and see your baby all the time without having to open anything, move any straps or anything like that. The C stands for close enough to kiss. Now, honestly, this is about having breasts or soft chest tissue. If you don't have breasts or soft chest tissue and your baby sits just out of kissing range, as long as you're happy their airway is open, it's absolutely fine. For those of us who have these soft, squishy parts on our chest, then you want the baby to be above those because you don't want them to snuggle in where they could obstruct their airway. The K stands for keeping baby's chin off baby's chest. The easiest way to know their chin is off their chest is when you do the ugly double chin maneuver to look down at them, you can see the tip of their nose. As long as you can see the tip of their nose, their chin is off their chest. If they put their chin down onto their chest, their nose will point at the floor and all you're going to see is the top of their head. The S stands for supported spine, and you can tell they're fully supported because if you put a hand on their back and lightly press, there's no extra space in the sling for them to slump down into, put their chin on their chest and close their airway. This carrier is going to last to somewhere between 6 and 9 months, depending on lots of things. How well it fits your baby, how well it fits your body, just whether or not you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable in the Infantino Flip, do know that there are lots of alternatives that may provide a better fit for you and baby. And I would suggest popping along to your local sling library and seeing if you can try a few different options. And if it's something that you specifically need a budget-friendly option, then do mention that when you visit the sling library, and they'll absolutely help you find a carrier that's readily available on the second-hand market, or is suitable for those who have a lower budget availability, as you know, we all do really at the moment. But anyway, So to take this carrier off, you're just going to support the baby's weight. And remember, you've got 4 buckles to undo. So one here, one here. Same on the other side. One there, one there. It really doesn't matter what order you undo them in, as long as you remember that you've got 4 to do. And then you can just hold the baby, drop the sling, and lift your baby clear. And then if you know you're just taking them out so they can have a nappy change or a feed or whatever, and then you're going to put them back in because you're going out, you can leave the sling on, or you can take it off. In terms of taking the actual carrier off, you can either undo the waist belt and lift it back off over your head like you did when you put it on, or reach for that back strap, get it undone, slip your shoulders out, get the waist buckle undone, there you go, and take it off. If you take it off by undoing that back clip, then I would recommend, as soon as you get an opportunity to, get that back clip done up again, so that next time you need your sling, you could just pick it up and chuck it over your head. It's kind of the easiest way to do it. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.